present to you the next congressman from the state of Texas, Neil Durrance.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My fellow Americans, thank you for allowing me to come and speak with you this evening. It's been a good evening with good friends, good food, and not just a little beer. I have been assured that there are no cameras in the audience this evening, but even if there are, your identity is safe with me, regardless of whether or not you're in East Texas, Austin, or even D.C. And before you all pound those tables into the floor with those huge beer mugs, it is time for a more serious part of the evening. It is a time to sit back and have a more contemplative, thoughtful, and solemn time. But I wanted to thank you for something else first. In this day and age of ADD, fast food society, and 30-second sound bites, spin and hustle, it is a pleasure to come and speak with a group of intelligent and patient people such as yourself. You will allow me now the opportunity to sit back with a person of considered opinion, lay out and fully develop plans, and discuss at length my ideas and direction that this country should take for the future of all of us. How many times during the last 10 years have you heard a friend or fellow member say, "I'm making it," or "I'm surviving"? There is an atmosphere created now in our country and in our economy which says that you should be happy just to have a job, that you should get by on minimum wages while corporate profits soar, that people such as we gathered here tonight should be quiet and passive while the wealthy fat cats on Wall Street and their henchmen in Washington dole out millions, if not billions, in bonuses, that you should not complain or cause any trouble when your benefits and your hours are cut and you are required to work longer for less, that productivity should rise exponentially but wages should stay stagnant, that people should not rock the boat when jobs are outsourced to low-paying, low-quality foreign labor. We have heard the lessons of corporate America for the last 25 years of the Republican dominance of the state of Texas. When was the last time you heard a corporate executive or a president tell any of the people and workers of his company, "You have sacrificed during the last year during this recession and helped my company through hard times, and now I want to make it up to you"? Never. When was the last time you heard an investment banker or a corporate executive say, "I'm due a multi-million-dollar bonus this year, but the people who worked hard and put money in my pocket really deserve this money, so I'm going to put my bonus back into the company"? Never. When was the last time you heard an investment banker or corporate executive say, "We had a tough year. Our profits have not been good. We've even lost money. So I'm not going to take my multi-million-dollar bonus this year, and neither is the rest of the management of this company"? Never. No, my friends, we have watched with rising disgust the sinister and creeping greed of a generation of business and political elites whose goal is to destroy our sense of community and the patriotic care that we have for our fellow citizens in our community, to destroy the unions which seek to protect our jobs and the economy, and to destroy an economy which has built the greatest middle class the world has ever seen. Thank you. It is time for a new movement. Nay, it's time for a new nationalism. This movement is not based on ideology of either the left or the right, but on pragmatism and power. Power of the people. We have watched with rising disgust and anger the continual downward spiral of not one but both political parties, Democrats and Republicans. This is clear to both parties being now mired in what is perceived as either leftist or rightist ideology. Results of this polarization have been bad policy and bad politics. Positions of the parties have ossified and frozen even the most flexible politician into a polarized camp from which they cannot escape. Why? Because to escape or change the party structure would amount to an abandonment of special interest designed to keep the entrenched leaders of both extremes in power. Thank you very much. Everyone knows that the Republicans need the money of big business, or business as we like to say in the South. Democrats used to rely on the money and power of the people. But for the Democrats, the ideological balance of power has been eroded, resulting in a complete loss of power. The Republicans are afflicted with the demons of ideology, domestic politics, and self-interest, and with an arrogance of power. Thank you. In other words, people should vote for me because I'm a conservative. That's what the Republicans claim. As a result, the Republicans act like rabid attack dogs in or out of power. Sean Hannity, and now the spokesman of the Republican Party, Rush Limbaugh, should serve as prime examples. Or self-appointed Reed Tea Parties consider facts as trash, only to be spun, utilized, and disposed of with no accountability. And so that you will believe me not biased and prejudiced, Democrats are no better. Internally, we are driven by an ideology still mired in a reflexive counterculture long since depleted of any cause or directions. Democrats lack decisiveness, clarity of vision, and most important, toughness to govern. The public perceives weakness in each of their respective parties. Is there any reason the average man on the street recoils from even the mention of politics? The results of the public being continually whipsawed between the politics of hate and division or weakness results in a public which is lost. This country was never built on the principle that he who dies with the most toys wins, nor was it built on the principle that we should live a gluttonous life of leisure free from all want. Each of the parties, in ever-growing greed for money and power, polarized their party's positions further and further. I believe this was done for two reasons. First, parties moved forward, further outward, looking for the extremes and those extreme persons who will actually get out and raise money and attempt to bring influence into the political spectrum. The parties of the extreme these persons of extreme are easily identified. So are the special groups supporting these parties. Second, the money that these extreme groups bring to the parties force further polarization and further extremism. The result is a continual centripetal force toward polarization which has resulted in a complete spinning out of control.